there, welcome to Days of Thunder. I'm Julia Bradbury and this is round 4 here in Rockingham. We've got 2 musically motivated cars here today. 50 Cent have sponsored a car and Liberty X have sponsored a car. But will they be able to catch up with the championship leader, Colin White, or Mr. Ben Collins, who's going to be pushing hard today for race win number 2? Let's see.
Well, as the drivers get ready for round 4, the one who's probably most surprised he's here is Stevie Hodgson, who started the season without a ride. Well, Julia took a drive with him to find out exactly what had changed.
So, take it easy. Be afraid. Be very afraid. Okay. So talk me through your first race, round one. Because you came as a mechanic, didn't you? But then you ended up driving.
Yeah, last year one of my mechanics is racing a truck this year, so I said I'd come down and span it for him because I didn't have a ride. And I got a phone call at 5 o'clock to say, do you want to have a drive? And I said, yep.
I'll have a go.
And we had a good result.
You did, second. Fantastic. Yep. You can't have been expecting that. That must have been a good feeling to
Yeah,
come
most
out.
Definitely. To jump in a car with no time in it on the track. Talk Speed did an awesome job, and it was a good day for Autocar as well.
Tell me about your ride. How did it come about?
I think basically, John and Ian out at Talk Speed, they had 2 bad wrecks in the first round. So we had me and Anthony that are second and third in the championship, and it's going to be very difficult for Ian and John, without us having big wrecks, to get back up there again. So, John had another sponsorship deal come about, and we put a plan together and got me in the 24 Monopoly car for the rest of the year, which is awesome for me. I've been trying for a long time to make it work myself, and there's no pressure anymore.
What are your hopes for the championship realistically now?
This is my 3rd year in the championship. We've had some, last year was a very bad year for me, but looking at history, if we have had a bad start to a championship run, in the 3rd year we've always ended up winning the championship. So, I'm with a good team, we've got a good sponsor. We want to run up front and lead a lot of laps and win race and win the championship is the goal.
How's your boy going to do today? Is he all set, fit to go?
He is set.
Yeah.
We're happy with it, yeah.
Happy with the car?
Very.
What have you done? Give me a little secret, a little juicy tidbit.
We've loosened it where it was tight and tightened it where it was loose.
That's what I always wanted to know.
Well, Rockingham provides entertainment and music as well as racing, so we've given Julia just the time it takes to do 1 lap at Rockingham to find out more about the drivers' lifestyles.
Rap or rock?
Rock.
FHM or country life?
Definitely FHM.
Chinese or Indian?
Indian.
Spandex or lycra?
Lycra.
Family or friends?
Family.
T-shirt or tuxedo?
T-shirt.
Blonde or brunette? Careful now.
Definitely brunette.
Mountain bike or motorbike?
Motorbike.
Cash or credit?
Cash.
Boxers or wide fronts?
Boxes.
Rain or shine?
Shine.
Blonde or brunette?
It's a difficult one. Can I pass on that one? Come back to it.
Beach or slopes?
Slopes.
Film or book?
Film.
First lap, last lap?
Last lap.
Cash or credit?
Cash.
Pounds or euro?
Pounds.
Boxers or wide fronts?
Boxes.
Half full, half empty?
Half empty.
Rap or rock?
Rock.
EastEnders or Corrie?
Corrie.
Ant or deck?
Either.
Well, an interesting insight into some of the drivers, but there are the championship points. Colin White's 2 victories, Ben Collins' 1, put them at the head of the order.
Now, how are you feeling today? Mr. Collins will be hard on your tail.
Yes, it's going to be quite an interesting race because the first race there we was able to come from midfield. Now we're up with the leaders, we've got to try and stay with him because I think my car is better at the end of the race. And
so just keep up there for the beginning and then take him on the finish line.
Yeah, that's it. Leave it to midway, halfway the second half.
A faultless plan. I shall watch it unfold with interest.
Okie dokie.
Well done. On your bike now.
On your bike, yeah.
Well, Colin may be on his bike, but Ollie Playle has some new supporters here this weekend. Julia's there to find out more.
You're sponsoring a car for the rest of the year, aren't you? The rest of the season?
Yeah, the rest of the season. I think first Sunday of every month here at Rockingham, the Liberty X car is going to be racing, so hopefully I'll be up every month.
So So Ben, I guess you're going to be pushing hard for your second win here today now.
Yeah, damn right. You've got to give it the max. So the boys done a brilliant job their first race, and obviously won that one. So there's no reason we shouldn't win this one.
Pretty near the front though with Colin, so it's going to be an interesting start.
Yeah, just do what I did last time. Just get away and just push hard opening laps, get a gap and sit there.
He reckons that his car might be better towards the end of the race, so you better watch out for him at that stage.
Soon find out, won't we?
Great job from Laura Headley, the competition winner, and she issues the immortal words. But here's the track, Steve, they'll tackle today.
60 laps, as always, of the 1.5 mile banked oval track, up to 7.5 degrees on the banking. And it's Colin White and Ben Collins head-to-head in front row of the grid.
Second row, Michael Burgess lines up alongside arch rival John Mickle.
Then it's Stevie Hodgson with Ian McKellar Jr. alongside.
John Stewart and Mark Proctor on row 4.
And completing the top 10, Peter Folgan and John Higgins.
Yeah, Tony King and Mike Lucker on row 6.
Ahead of Phil Weaver and Chris Harris making his race debut.
Back on row 8, Chris Cook and Malcolm Klein.
Then it's Ollie Playle and Skid Carrera on row 9.
Row 10 sees Steve Hobday in the 50 Cent car alongside Anthony Swan.
And completing the packed grid, 11th row man Sean Richardson as the cars head up towards the green flag.
Yeah, we've got onboard views for you. That was Chris Cook's. That's Ian McKellar's view. And we are getting ready here to go green. 60 laps of Rockingham, and it's green, green, green.
This is the time we go racing. Ben Collins and Colin White racing right from the line. Look at that rubbing paint down into turn 1. This is determination from Ben Collins. And Colin White there pushing very hard indeed ahead of his teammate.
And what unbelievable stuff there. Colin White getting down into that gap with Michael Burgess. Great side-by-side scrap going on as well with John Mickle in his Xerox car, fighting it out with Ian McKellar Jr. Jr. goes into 4th.
Well, Ian McKellar Jr. racing very hard indeed, but look at Michael Burgess in 3rd place in the NEC car. Oh, contact for the first two. It's Burgess who takes the race lead as the two ahead of him pile into the wall. Heavy impact from Colin White. Ben Collins' car has very heavy front-end damage. Yellow flags are being waved. The safety car is out on the track, and we're all going to have to start again.
Goodness gracious me, what on earth happened there? Ben Collins and Colin White colliding together at turn 4 on lap 1, and Ben Collins walking around his 42 car just wondering what on earth happened. Likewise, Colin White.
Well, the whole front corner gone off Ben Collins' car. You could see Colin White closing in from behind. Ben Collins there may be moving down the track, and I reckon he didn't hear his spotter up in the grandstand saying that Colin White was there. Either way, the two men who lead the championship are out of the race without a single lap completed.
Well, here we are. Look at the black lines on the track. You see Ben Collins just moving down the track there. Colin White holding his line right alongside him, and then it's a bang into the wall, and that brings him from 150 to a standstill. This is the view from Ian McKellar Jr.'s car.
Now watch Michael Burgess here, because there's the contact between the two race leaders. Burgess goes through the gap, and Colin White spins back up across the track. Awesome.
Unbelievable stuff there. Well, there's Ben Collins. Let's hear from Colin White's spotter.
Well, we had a really good start coming out of turn 3. The car really stuck, and Colin come right out of turn 3, coming in just about to enter for turn 4, and Colin had a clear inside line. We was the full length up the side of Ben Collins, and Ben just turned his car straight in down in onto Colin and put Colin straight to the wall. And like, that is not professional driving.
Ooh, dear me. Well, there it is, number 42, Ben Collins' car, or what's left of it. That's going to be more than a paint job, I fear. And closely following in 2nd place, although not quite the way they would have imagined it, I guess. Here's Collins' car, number 78. The damage doesn't look to be as bad, but you never know. There's a bit of a rear-end shunt that's gone on there.
Well, Julia, it was a really big shunt. Ben Collins moving down the track here at about 170 miles an hour. Colin White being spun around and up into that wall. That was a big hit. Glad to say both the drivers okay.
Well, from everybody's point of view who's actually watching the race, that man is a dirty, dangerous driver, and he's going to end up killing somebody at this track. Last week he took me wide into turn 1 to get his lead lap back. He'd done it again then, so I tucked up behind him, got up the inside of him through 3, down on the inside and down towards 4, and he just took me to the grass and hit me car from the outside. You know, that's not professional racing. I can race side by side. I'm only a privateer at this game. That man's getting a drive free of charge. He's dangerous to sport. He's ruining it for other people, and no one else will come here and race if we leave him racing here. I shan't.
Well, tough talking there from Colin White. He's clearly not happy at all about what's gone on there, but the track has been cleared up. We're about to go back green racing.
Green flag waves. This time it's Michael Burgess at the head of the order. 11 laps already completed with a caution period out. And Chris Clark starting very well indeed there. Ian McKellar Jr. in a strong position too. And look behind Michael Burgess and Ian McKellar Jr. It's John Mickle in that brand new car ahead of his teammate Stevie Hodgson.
Yeah, his new teammate. Ironically, Stevie Hodgson in the 24 car that John Mickle has driven previously until he got the 66 drive with Xerox until since the start of Days of Thunder Racing back in 2001. But this is the scrap for third place. What do you think, Steve? Team orders?
No team orders here. Stevie Hodgson, of course, has the championship points on his side. John Mickle, his car went well straight off the line, but look now, the car is not handling as precisely as Stevie Hodgson's car, the second of the two in this group. The reason for that, I think, maybe a tyre problem, maybe he's just overheating his tyres a bit. Ian McKellar Jr., though, closing in on Michael Burgess.
Yeah, great scrap going on further back. Led that quartet by Peter Faulding, and down on the inside, all kinds of manoeuvring going on. This is the battle I was talking about for sixth place. Peter Faulding, Mark Proctor. There ahead of us now is Tony King. He was the third car in this four-car battle. And Chris Cook, who is pounding his way through the field.
Well, I mentioned Chris Cook earlier because he's in the same team as Michael Burgess, the race leader. And Chris Cook, at the moment, had electrical problems in the earlier race. He's on a real storming drive back.
Brilliant stuff from the West Tech young man, the man from the West Country, Chris Cook, that is, making his way past.
Well, that's it for part one, but join us in part two for more action. And here's a little question to keep you thinking throughout the break. Tony King's car overheated in one of last year's meetings, but what caused his car to overheat, and who was the only person to spot it? Do you know? See you in a few minutes. Welcome back to part two. Now, just before the break, I asked you a little question. What caused Tony King's car to overheat in one of last year's meetings? Well, the answer is it was a plastic bag in the front of his grille, and the only person to spot it was his 8-year-old son, Bradley. What a clever boy. Let's get back to the racing.
Well, maybe a clever cameraman spotted it too, but look at this tremendous battle still on, and it's Chris Cook working his way back up the order. Ollie Plale now in the Liberty X car also starting to close in on the number 12 of Mark Proctor, and this little battle is starting to work its way up into the top 10.
Yeah, sixth place is where Peter Faulding is. There goes Ollie Plale. Was it looking to the inside of Mark Proctor? He was indeed. They go too wide through turn two. That's a really courageous move by Ollie Plale. He's made it stick to, and meanwhile Chris Cook will go around the outside of Peter Faulding as Ian McKellar Jr. heads to pit road.
Well, we talk about the ups and downs of this racing game. Poor old Ian McKellar Jr. barely scoring a finish so far this season. Not his own fault either, but Ian McKellar Jr. heading for pit road. But the man on the move here is Chris Cook, and he's taking Ollie Plale. The two young guns are going for it.
Well, I wonder what the problem is with Ian McKellar Jr. Nothing apparently from our position here anyway at the top of the grandstands that we can see. But as you say, Steve, Chris Cook really on the move in the West Tech car, the Learn Direct number 8 machine. Closing up now, ever edging nearer and closer towards the back end of John Stewart's car.
Well, John Stewart, along with Colin White, one of the two or maybe three most experienced drivers out here, was right in at the very start of Days of Thunder Racing with that 75 car. New livery again for this season for John Stewart. But there's no beating these young guns, and Chris Cook came through from these 1000cc Legend racing cars, and just look at him now with a car 5-6 times the literage.
Yeah, unbelievable stuff, and he's doing a great job in that car. Well set up for him. Meanwhile, also coming on the charges, Ollie Plale, the 18-year-old, and he's trying to find his way past too, but will he make it stick? John Stewart goes to the high side, and that means that Ollie Plale can dive on through. Meanwhile, Julia is with Ben Collins.
Okay, from your point of view, what happened?
It's hard to tell. Obviously, you rely on your spotter to tell you where the car is. I was leading first lap of the race. I got to the fourth corner. I knew I was defending my line, but the car behind, so I couldn't see. But I was looking, and just got hit in the back. And basically, it comes to it. If it had been the other way around, and I was second, would I have hit the car in front? No. So I would have expected better, but I don't know what Colin's version. And I haven't seen it on television, so I can't really say who did what to who.
Have you seen your car yet?
It's mullered.
Yeah, it's not looking good, is it?
No, well, it's just hit the wall at 170, so I'm lucky to be all right.
Well, Ben Collins and Colin White both looking to be all right. Meanwhile, the racing still goes on. Chris Cook in the 8 car pushing hard, and the pit stop window is now open, and there is race leader. Now, that is Chris Cook's teammate, which may say something about the setup of those West Tex prepared cars. They're both absolutely flying.
John Mickle is in for his pit stop. We've got the clock on both of them. It's torque speed in the big picture. It's the Aspire NEC car of Michael Burgess down in the corner there, so it's fast work needed by these guys. This is first and second. Mickle came in second. They'll try and get him out in first place. He leaves pit lane. Michael Burgess' car still not down, but he's further down pit lane.
Well, it's going to be very close. 3 seconds slower in the pits. An awesome pit stop. Puts John Mickle effectively into race lead. There they go, out of pit lane, past the cones marking the pit lane speed limit, and it's John Mickle up to racing speed ahead of Michael Burgess.
Oh,
caution flag is out again. What a race.
Well, we didn't want to see yellows, but what a pit stop by the torque speed crew. Here's Julia again.
So Alan, you must be happy at the moment. It's going quite well, and a fantastic pit stop that's put your man in the lead.
Yeah, it has. We've been training really hard. We've been struggling, run a lot of cars, and it's starting to pay off for us this weekend.
Fantastic, and John's happy with you guys, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's over the moon. You know, with the new Ford we're running this week and the Xerox sponsorship, we're great.
Yeah, they are great. John will start from the outside pole position. The car's on the inside, Steve, a lap down as we go back green.
That's right, the cars on the outside are the cars in the race. Ian McKellar Jr. on the inside there in the 25 car, 1 lap down. And straight away, Michael Burgess, awesome on relatively cold tyres. Don't forget the tyres cool down when you're behind the safety car. And with less grip, Michael Burgess just drove around the outside of John Mickle. Well, that really does say something about Burgess' confidence in that NEC Aspire car that is now heading the field. And here comes his teammate.
Yeah, Chris Cook looking to try and take advantage. The car in front of him, Ian McKellar Jr., remember, is a couple of laps down after the problems in the engine department for him, we're understanding. But Burgess, what a brilliant restart. Mickle didn't quite get away as quick as he might, and now Chris Cook looks to the inside of McKellar Jr.
That's right, and the reason that yellow flag came out, of course, Mike Luck in the Lucky 7 car, not so lucky this time around, had a brake failure on his way to the pits and had to park it down on the track by the wall.
Yeah, well, here is Chris Cook. Oh, and Ian McKellar Jr. gets a little bit squirrely there through turn 2, the back end, trying to step out towards the wall. And, of course, one small lift in these cars, and you find yourself going backwards.
Well, the interesting thing there, Ian McKellar Jr.'s car will have a similar setup to the 66 car of John Mickle, both prepared by the Torque Speed team. The car coming up behind him, West Tech prepared, rival teams, and big rival here. They're both based in Corby, just next to the track.
Well, fantastic stuff. This is, and Chris Cook just manages to squeeze through the eye of a needle there. John Mickle just gave him enough room. I think fair dinkum, as they would say in Australia, to both of them.
Well, there is the 50 Cent car, and that is an extra pit stop for the number 50, heading back out onto track. But the big action, and there is Ian McKellar Jr.'s car. Looks like that is being pushed away. But here's the big battle on track now. It's the two teammates. Stevie Hodgson goes down the inside of John Mickle, and Ollie Playle is right there on the tails as well.
And Ollie Playle will look to try and follow through here. John Mickle had to leave the door open for his teammate Stevie Hodgson in that 24 car that Mickle used to drive. Oh, Mickle holds off the challenge this time from Ollie Playle. Well, we've seen those two come together more times than we perhaps care to, but this time Ollie Playle does the right thing and he waits patiently for his next opportunity.
Youth or experience. John Mickle, one of the most experienced drivers out there. Stevie Hodgson, one of the most experienced drivers out there. The youth of Ollie Playle, maybe. But let's go down and join Julia with Gavin Wills, the team boss of the leading team, West Tech.
How are you feeling? Numbers 1 and 2 right now?
Yeah, it's fabulous. I mean, there's a lot of emotion really running, and the guys have had a terrible start to the year. They've worked incredibly hard and had a number of wrecks, and to have it running like this, you know, it's just fabulous, absolutely fabulous.
Especially after a slightly disappointing round 3.
Yes, yeah. I mean, you know, we were running strongly there, and had 2 cars drop out whilst in conjunction for the podium. But it's fingers crossed, we've got a little bit to go, but we're hoping it all stays together.
Let's hope it all holds on.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Brilliant stuff. Well, we're on to our last lap now. The white flag has flown, and Chris Cook will try and close in the gap by Michael Burgess. This has been a brilliant drive by Burgess.
Well, Stevie Hodgson on a good run, potentially to the podium here. But Chris Cook, would you believe he's got a polythene bag across the radiator grille of his car? And just look at this, John Mickle fights off Ollie Playle for 4th. Ollie Playle forges his way down the inside, determined driving by the Liberty X car there, and he is on his way past John Mickle. Great drive. But is Chris Cook going to make it to that second place behind his teammate Michael Burgess on the run to the checkered flag? Burgess and Cook a 1-2. Absolutely brilliant.
Congrats, 3 in the top 4, that's pretty good.
Fabulous, yeah. Delighted with that, good effort.
Well done.
Well, I don't think I've seen Gavin smile so much. Quite remarkable. Michael Burgess then takes the victory ahead of Chris Cook. Stevie Hodgson there in third place ahead of Ollie Plale and John Mickle. And Mark Proctor, a great result to finish sixth.
Congratulations to you and your team. What a restart.
Yeah, I mean,
Seat of the pants stuff.
I had to do it because I knew Mickle was going to be tough to overtake. But I know my car is very good on the starts, and you know, I had to go around the outside, and the baby hung on, and the NEC car did well.
You must be delighted.
I'm boiling.
Well, of course, we're all boiling. I don't know what, you must be on fire.
My feet are on fire, but yeah, delighted for the team. A 1, 2, 4. You know, we couldn't have wished more.
It was fantastic. There was a couple of hairy moments out there, but coming up through from the back. But yeah, it was fantastic. The team done a fantastic pit stop, and thanks to them, I managed to get back to second.
Well done, man. Exactly. Well, it must have gone pretty well according to plan.
Well done, mate.
Isn't that nice? Camaraderie. Who says they hate each other, these drivers?
No, I mean, we had an awesome race there. The Monopoly car did really well. We struggled in the first one a bit, but we turned it round and had a really good race with John. You know, that were really good fun with that, and Ollie behaved himself, which were good as well. Yeah. So, you know, all in all, it were good. I really enjoyed it.
You must be pinching yourself a little bit. I mean, to lose Collins and White like that so early, lap one.
It was quite funny, actually, because on the start I'm thinking, right, with first 3 rows is the most experience in the grid. We're going to have a whale of a race. 1 lap later, the front 2 take themselves off. I'm like, top 2 in the championship in front of me. I'll take it, thank you very much.
And he can take it indeed, because Colin White and Ben Collins out of the points this time. Stevie Hodgson moves into a 20-point lead ahead of White, John Stewart and Mark Proctor. Michael Burgess moves up to 5th.
So let's check out the remaining rounds. American Independence Day, 4th of July. We're back here at Rockingham for rounds 5 and 6, and you can see where the rest are.
Well, let's take a look at the defining moment, though, of round 4. Race leaders Colin White and Ben Collins clashing out on the very opening lap. And that wasn't all. The stewards later deliberating the accident, and this was the result of their deliberation. Bad news for Ben Collins, but he and the rest are back on the 4th of July.
If you'd love a chance to come and meet and greet Peter Andre, Lamar, Jamelia, Girls Aloud and the Cheeky Girls in July, please answer the following question. Jamelia will be another of the top acts here in July, but can you name her first smash hit? Was it A, Supermarket, B, Superman, or C, Superstar? Call the number on your screen now, and good luck. Well, what a day's racing. Ben Collins, the current Days of Turn, the champion, and Colin White, the championship leader, crashing out spectacularly in the first lap of race 2, leaving the championship wide open. The day's not over, though. 50 Cent's still got to play for this crowd. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
And we'll meet them in the fast lane again, same time next week. T4's next.